Charlton Zoning Board of Appeals, October 24th, 2017 meeting. First, what we'll do is old business. I know it's a little bit out of the order. We have minutes from a past couple of meetings. We'll just get those onto the record. Does anyone have any comments on the meetings? I want to make a motion. It's from September 15th, September 19th, October 17th meeting.
I'll make a motion that it stands.
We'll make a motion to accept the meeting's minutes as stand. Is there a second on the motion?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Any other old business that we need to talk about before we get into this tonight?
Do I need to tell you about the withdrawal yet?
Yeah, why don't you state that for the record?
The town of Charlton withdrew their application for South Ridge Road Stearns.
So, we will only have two on the thing.
Are they coming back on it?
No,
They
probably
changed the
not.
bylaws.
They changed the zoning bylaw.
Okay, all right, fine.
Because that's always.
That makes it easy.
Right.
Like I said, a
Because
business.
that's always looking long-term down the road, just change the bylaw. But that's enough. Don't worry about the long-term consequences.
Not going.
I mean, we're not gonna be here anyways. So we'll start with, it's the same.
No, one's a father, one's a son.
Oh.
You can believe it.
All right.
You're doing the son first.
All right, so Junior's
He
first.
got his in first.
You got yours in first, so you get to go first.
The 92, we're doing 92.
92, Steve.
Okay, here we go. So you are seeking a variance from front and side yard setbacks?
Yes.
Can you
that
state your
was-
name for the record?
Sure, yes, Peter Howard Jr., 92 Stevens Park Road.
Okay, do you want to tell us what you're doing and why we should grant you a variance?
Yes, I'd love to do that, but we did have a game time change, so I'll tell you what we're gonna do. And I talked to some of the abutters that just got back to me today,
Yeah,
so we made a slight modification. So I'm only gonna be asking for relief on a front setback, I believe.
okay, that's absolutely fine.
So
Good.
Number one.
what I wanted to do here,
Hold on one second. We're gonna pause this for a moment. She just needs to get the building, the zoning enforcement officer wanted
Oh, sure.
to sit in on the meeting as well, so.
you want me to pass out some of the updated prints?
Yeah,
is
wait
this
till
good
she
enough?
gets
Okay,
back.
sure.
That would be fine.
Have any pictures?
I don't have pictures, no.
Certainly.
Kurt might have pictures.
Okay. That's very important.
They're not required.
Pardon?
They're not required. to-
No, I guess not, but
But,
Yeah, if we, yeah, I could've
it's
easily got some.
very helpful.
yeah, that's,
I think Kurt does have pictures.
Most everybody residents, you guys are residents of Charlton?
Yeah, you have to be, yeah. Why are you looking to become a member of the board? We got an opening.
good pitch, good pitch.
Hey, you know something, the good thing about me, for the most part, once or twice a year, we might have a little bit of action. But for the most part, it's like once a month for a couple of hours, pretty laid back. Most of we all get along with each other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're not drinking with each other after hours or anything like that. Maybe we should. Maybe we should start. Maybe we'd be different on this board. You know, I don't know.
I'm retiring here, so
Yeah.
I'm 62, I'm
Yeah.
retiring in the next year and a half, so maybe I'll need something to do.
Yeah.
Greetings and salutations
Yeah,
as
we
I
got
run.
one with a lot of action that we've had for the past month, but you know that happens once in a while. Most part, people are looking to put on garages and you know things change their deck and things like that.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna resume.
Sure.
So Mr.
Hauga.
Hauga,
Yep.
sorry.
So Peter Hauga Jr., 92 Stevens Park Road.
So you said you had some
Yep.
additional plans that you wanna pass around to us?
Yeah, so what I had done prior to this meeting, it was call the abutters and find out if there was any conflict with anything that I was doing. 3 out of the 4 had no problem, and the most interesting abutter conversation happened very late today, about 4 p.m., and that's why the late change on this. So the abutter to my left, where we were seeking relief from the side setback from
Yeah.
15 to 5 feet,
Yeah,
asked if I would revise.
okay.
Said, hey, would you mind, I don't wanna come and oppose you, but he said if you could just propose something a little bit different, I would appreciate that.
Okay.
So, that's what I did, I worked with Jay, and we actually moved and changed that from a 24-foot addition down to an 18-foot addition, so we would need no relief from the side setback. It just kinda keeps the same property line on the front,
Yeah,
the same line of the existing house, so it's a small bit of front setback relief.
okay.
And these are all copies for you guys if you want to
If you
pass
could
them
pass a
around.
couple of them around, and you, one for, if you could give me one so we could put in the file. Just so you guys know, we really don't need to make a motion to accept the documents.
I was gonna ask,
We don't need to, we don't have to do it. If we wanna continue doing it, it's fine, but I don't think that we're required
Yeah,
to.
well, I'm all for not streamlining.
Alright.
Just to point out too, the existing house location, you can see where the text says that, but the line work is very, very light. I usually,
Oh, I see.
So
I
there
usually-
is an
Hey,
existing.
can you just state your name for the record as well?
Jason Dubois from DC Engineering
Okay.
Survey. We usually send these to BT's prints, but it was late, so these went to Staples and they must have different pen settings
Oh,
or
I
something,
see.
so. You can
So-
see on this one, it's a little bit darker in here.
Okay,
So this is, this was the original submittal.
yeah,
Which
I see.
came over quite a bit further. And the new one is that. So it's the same width as the house, 26 and a half feet from front to back. And
Yeah.
we went over 18 feet, which still gives 15 feet to the side.
okay,
And the existing structure was 26 and a half to the front setback.
yeah,
And because of the angle of the front property line, we're at 21.7. And the back setback is still fine, and this, like I said, the side setback is okay. The existing side setback on this side is 5.4 feet
okay.
to the existing structure.
And like I mentioned earlier, the neighbor at last minute just, they finally did call me back and expressed that concern, and I tried to comply and said, okay, everyone else had said, yep, no problem, we're not gonna go, we're not gonna oppose you, we support you with your plan.
Okay.
But at the last minute, I found that out, so we made a quick
So-
trip down to Staples.
So why is the addition on that side versus in the back or someplace else?
Well, I actually don't wanna, how I like the property was, to be honest, I wanted to keep that nice waterfront backyard.
Okay,
And, just have a little bit of parking in the front and just go to the left, so it would be like more of a traditional, conventional type house
okay,
and keep the nice waterfront backyard.
This is a garage, isn't it?
Well, I think it's gonna be a garage addition, so it makes more sense there, but because of the last change, with 18 feet, I just wanted to make sure with an architect I could fit a 2-car garage there, it might be a little tight. So it could just be an addition of the house.
it's gonna be a garage.
Yeah,
Makes
makes a lot of sense for the garage there, that's what we were planning, it's just,
What is this line right here? What are these lines? Are these
Those
slopes?
are just contour lines. Those the dash lines?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's two of them that are a little bit more in bold, that's
Yeah,
all.
that's because those are like the 10-foot
primary
increments.
ones.
So you just need a setback variance for the front.
Right.
For,
Yeah, so it's roughly about 9 feet or so, right? 8 and change or something.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's no other place that you could potentially put this on the lot, right? I
Not,
mean, you can put it on the other side.
no, we're 5 feet away, so that house is underneath it, you can
Right.
kind of see that. So I'm 5.5 feet away on the
How
right
much
hand
is,
side.
how much is the land slope from where the back of from the front of the house down to where the lake is? Is there a steep slope?
Well, there's a 10%, about a 10% grade to where it drops off.
Yeah.
And there's about a 6-foot grade change there.
So if you were to put that actually within the setback lines, it would be would there be a steep drop off from the front into the garage? That's what I'm asking you.
I mean, it's pretty consistent slope all the way.
That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you how much down, would it be down like this to
Yeah.
get into the garage?
Footwork 10 feet?
No, it's probably, 5 feet, it's probably a foot every 5 feet.
So we're, what's that,
About
from here to here?
20%.
Yeah, probably 20% roughly.
So the grade would prevent you from putting a garage actually within the setback. That's
Within
what
the
you're telling
setback,
me?
that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't propose that, so I didn't do the math prior, cause that's really not what I wanted to do.
okay.
But yeah, based on that quick calculation,
Based on that
it looks about
calculation, if you would've
20%.
put that actually within the setback lines, then the slope from where the front is, if it was gonna be a garage, it'd be too great.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense at all. You wouldn't be able to do it.
Right, you have to bring in a ton more fill and.
Yeah.
You understand my question?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, gentlemen, you have any more questions for this gentleman? For the engineer? Alright, we hear from the zoning enforcement officer.
So, my usual pile.
I'm gonna stamp this
Love
plan.
it.
I'm gonna keep
Good.
this plan,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah.
Did you
I
stamp
love
the
it.
minutes?
So here's mine.
No, we're supposed to.
Pass
Yes,
those
that's
around,
fine.
please.
What is the?
Oh, yeah. So, Mr. Meskis, you have a
So,
opinion, thought?
well, I did, this application did come directly to the zoning board of appeals and hadn't any preliminary, passed by me. It's not required, it's always nice. I did speak to Jason, the engineer. He came in on another matter and asked me, and I said, the original proposal, gave me some pause.
Right.
We had some discussions about, other things that have happened in the neighborhood and such. I can appreciate the neighbor's concern.
Right, yeah, that was my main
Um,
concern.
We did discuss, and you may still want to consider, I don't know, Jason, did you talk about putting the garage in the front and doing the walkout? So that doesn't
Yeah,
seem.
it just doesn't appeal to me really.
Okay, that's fine,
Yeah.
that's fine, I just, so there was some discussion there. And I'm just not clear, are we now leaving the existing house?
Right, leaving the
Okay,
existing house
okay.
where it is, I will eventually look for a permit just to put a foundation under there.
Okay, okay.
But I wouldn't do anything else with that, it stays right where it is.
Okay, so you're not, okay.
Yeah.
So, the usual photos, gentlemen, ladies, the tax map showing it, remember that the lines on the tax map are not for surveying purposes. A Google Earth image, a little clearer of the area. When you go to page 2, the left of Stevens Park is some sort of vacant, there used to be a house over there a number of years
Yeah, I heard
ago.
it burned down.
Burned down. The subject property, 92 Stevens Park, that little one-story bungalow with the parking next to it. 88 Stevens Park on the next page, which you're familiar with. We just had a hearing for them for some deck work and.
Oh, yeah, that's what they.
That was
side deck.
Larry and Patty. They
They
came
had
for
the
that.
side deck, that it was like the window was sticking out or
Yeah.
something like that, yeah.
Right, and they had come before this board quite a while ago to put that addition on. And we
Right.
sort of went through the same sort of thing. We said, maybe you could scale it back a little bit.
Right,
And 84 Stevens Park, which the Quinteras own, and, while the other one is 80, well, maybe it should be 86 and 84 Stevens Park. So, that's the lay of the land there.
Not that this matters a whole lot, but I know the house right next to me, Larry and Patty's, they're significantly closer to the front setback. I don't remember what they are exactly.
Yeah, I think that they did a came for a special permanent variance a number of
Yeah.
years ago.
Yep.
Then they came back last month or so for a deck. Okay, does anybody else have any comments in the room, any abutters?
I got it.
Okay, no
Zoom down the
problem.
hall.
Alright, so I'll call my usual cast of suspects here. So we'll call to see if anyone from the Historical Commission, Assessors, Board of Health, Recreation, Economic Development, Police, Fire, School Districts, we already heard from the Building Inspector and Zoning Enforcement Officer, Water and Sewer, Housing Authority, Planning Board, Selectmen, any other local board official, butters, anyone in parties of interest? Okay. what he's saying, so does anyone want to make a motion to close the open hearing of this application?
I'll make one. That's the open portion.
And Bill seconds, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So discussion, so he's looking for what, 9 feet
9.
on the front setback, according to the plan that was submitted,
Plus or minus,
must, yeah. And,
yeah.
you know, my take on that is that the hardship here is the fact that if he was gonna put it further back, there may be some slope issues that would make it, that he wouldn't be able to put a garage in at all.
Yeah, and we can see sloping the
Yeah,
Kurt's pictures and
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
The front yard, is that what?
yeah,
9 feet in the front?
on Stevens Park Road. What do you guys think? You think that looks all right?
Yeah.
I just have one comment, and that is in the, and just for the record, the findings of fact for a variance only. In order for him to do this, the expansion would not be able to be achieved.
Right.
And the shape of the lot and the slope prevent setbacks being met. And small lots in neighborhood were in existence prior to the zoning. Now, because we're allowing him to do what he wants to do here,
Right.
are we,
No,
by
not
our
setting-
doing this,
We're not
if
setting-
somebody else wants to do the same thing?
we're not setting a precedent on anything.
We're not. I just wanted.
Because this is, what we're saying is that his variance is unique to this land.
Okay.
So we're not held to say, because if we vote to allow a garage on this property, we're not held to everybody on Glen Echo
Okay,
Lake.
I
That
just
they're
want-
allowed to do the same exact thing.
Well, Chairman,
Right.
all I
Because
want to
it's
do is
just,
just
it
clear
just,
that
it's
up,
unique, it
that's
runs
all.
with the land, so yes, you're
Okay.
absolutely right.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so, does someone wanna make a motion to grant a variance for 9 feet plus or minus on the front setback according to the plan as submitted? Because, and the hardship would be that the size of the lot, the grade of the lot down to the water,
It's not detrimental to the neighborhood.
that's special permit, but you're right, it's not that true. Anyway.
Your motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to
Is there a second on that motion?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Congratulations.
There's a 20-day appeal period from when I file with the town clerk, get a letter in the mail saying that day, you can go to the town clerk, pick it up. Just bring, then go to, you're gonna go to the Worcester County Register of Deeds,
Yeah, record it.
report, and just bring the
the back
copy,
receipt.
yeah, and then you're good to go.
They give the original back now. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, so now we'll get to senior. Hey, same engineering company. Anyhow.
Keep it all in the family.
That's right. Okay, so could you state your name for the record, please?
My name is Peter Howard Senior,
Yeah.
67 South Charlton Shore Road in Charlton.
Okay.
Sorry.
And could you explain to us what you're seeking and the reasons why we should grant it for you?
This is, I purchased this home in April, in July.
Okay.
And it was a summer residence, and my wife and I are retiring, and the house is only 612 square feet.
Okay.
So we're looking to put on an addition in this 12 by 27,
Mm-hmm.
which will give us significantly more square footage. We're gonna put in a full foundation. It is a current block foundation, and the concern would be going up with that, so we wanted to go out with a concrete foundation, 12 by 27. The 12 feet interferes with the zoning on my neighbor who's here tonight, by the
Okay.
way. So, eventually, not eventually, I mean, next year, we're planning on starting construction. We're gonna bring, get plans of an architect, but I'm not gonna do anything until, I wanna make sure we could do this.
Yeah,
I have a well, proposed well that's just in the front,
okay,
and then my septic system, so that prevents me from going
back or front?
back or front.
Okay,
And i.e. the reason that we're going to the side.
yeah.
And asking for the variance for that.
So you're gonna ask, are you asking for a special permit as well?
Am I asking
Yes.
for a special
Okay.
permit? I am.
I mean, extension of a, right,
Yeah,
alteration.
yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, so,
right.
like you said, the septic system, if it ever does need to be expanded,
Yeah,
would be in the front. That's where the cesspool is now.
okay,
And the well is in the back of the property, plus there is a fairly steep slope back there.
okay,
Very steep.
We're going, well, a little over 5 feet into the setback,
okay.
on a 15-foot setback.
Gentlemen, you have questions, comments?
And the cesspool that you mentioned, is that gonna be replaced from the septic system?
If it ever needs to be, it will, but currently it passes.
Currently, it does not have
Yeah,
to.
if it
Yeah,
wants-
it's
it doesn't,
Sure,
It
it's
pa-
working
it
and
passed the
everything?
Title V.
Yeah.
okay,
Okay,
that's fine.
okay.
Rob, Bill, Barry,
Yeah.
questions, comments?
The setbacks, the front setback is.
Well, the dash line shows the actual zoning requirements, so these right here, it's
Oh,
30
oh, I
30
see.
feet, so we're probably 40 feet from the front.
Okay, so this blocked out here is.
That's the addition.
That's the addition.
Yes, the dash lines is the zoning setback lines.
Okay, so you're all, it seems like.
We're all
you
set in the
checked
front and the back.
And the back, okay. So what are you looking for, is the side?
Yes,
To-
9.6, the other side is currently 3.5, the existing.
Okay, so,
Structure.
okay, so you got an existing structure on the side, okay.
So how does this stay within the character of the neighborhood? By putting an addition on like this, is it gonna be out of other houses that are within the character of the neighborhood?
I would say no. I mean, there's a approved plan directly across the street for a
Yeah.
brand new, house.
Yeah,
I believe number 63, which is 2 down, is
Yeah.
a, larger, newer looking, renovated house.
this isn't gonna be like twice the size of other houses on the lake?
No.
You're not building like
It's gonna be
No,
1,200 square feet.
a
when we're all done.
4-story
No, no, no.
mansion,
No, no.
okay.
You can actually see on this plan, you can see 61,
Yeah,
is much bigger than this.
Oh, I see,
71
yeah.
is also bigger.
yeah,
73 is the McMansion.
70 kids. You've seen that down the Cape where, someone comes in and buys a postage stamp and then they build like, the Taj Mahal and there's no room to do anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they
we
allow
just wanna make sure,
parking.
that's one of the things that's not gonna be detrimental to the character of the neighborhood.
Ziggy is here tonight, and his concern is more, has nothing, he told me that he doesn't have any issue at all with the water or the addition. It's more with the septic, because it was a summer home and now it's gonna be our
Right.
full residence. But,
So I'll have you speak in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, but, just to, and that really probably doesn't have anything to do with this board.
It doesn't.
Okay.
The only thing it would have anything to do with is that if you couldn't put your septic foot anyplace else as part of your argument, then
Yeah.
it would be a hardship for you that would be the hardship, is that you couldn't do it anyplace else.
Right.
And which your engineer just told us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, you can't put it in the front, you can't put it in the back because of the well and the septic.
Yep.
So that is a factor for us in determining whether or not you actually have the hardship where your well and septic are, so. Does anybody else, wanna speak?
I'd like to, yeah.
Yep, could you just state your name for the record?
Ziggy Waraskevich, and I have a summer home at 69 South Charlton Shore Drive. So should face the water just to the right of him. And I've been there 32 years. That house that he bought from Womansky was
Yeah.
used very intermittently for 32 years.
Yeah,
So obviously, as Peter has already mentioned, my only concern was is the cesspool gonna be adequate now with an
Is it all
addition
year round?
in year round?
right,
I have no problem with the location of the well.
Okay.
I agree that restricts him from going out to the front.
okay,
And when he talked to me prior to getting all these plans and everything, telling me what he was gonna do,
yeah,
I just took a tape measure, not surveying or anything.
Right.
He said, so I measured 12 feet from his wall going towards my house to see where his new wall would be.
yeah,
And he will still be 20 feet from my wall of my house.
okay, so you're okay with that?
So I'm okay from that. He'll
Yeah.
be approximately 9 feet from the property line on
Right.
his side. I'm only 11 feet from the property line on my side,
So
so
it's not-
I'm out of compliance also. So, again, being 20 feet away, I have no problem with
Okay.
that. What he has verbally described, I have no problem that it's gonna
Yeah,
visually impact my house.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I'm looking out the windows, I'm looking towards the lake, not towards his house anyways.
right, right,
And the only concern is, and I agree that that is the only place he can put the addition, but my concern, and that'll be brought up with the Board of
yeah, and
Health,
they'll make sure that it follows, it complies and everything
is
like that,
will
whatever
the
those.
cesspool be adequate for a
Right.
year-round house?
Yeah,
And in terms of the Title V, technically, I don't know if it passes or not because they never sampled my water.
are you within so many feet of,
Yeah.
so you may wanna address that, I mean, there's nothing to do
I
with
mean, that's a
us.
Board of Health issue.
That's a board,
not-
yeah, if you're gonna redo it, you may wanna, yeah. So, gentlemen, you just here for the,
I live at 63 South Charlton Shore Road, I'm just observing what's
okay.
going on. That's all.
My deck is out front, so this is looking right from the road,
Mm.
so his addition will be out here approaching this side of the
Yeah.
house.
So you don't
Well, I
have- you
just wanna
wanna-
make sure that
no
that
comments on it?
represents your house
Yeah.
as it is now.
I own the
Yes.
building lot across the street.
And you wanna make a statement, comments or anything like that?
Just wanted to observe.
Okay. So, and you're here, oh, we were getting filmed tonight? Fantastic.
Gonna be on public access.
I'm in all the time. Mr. Meskis, you have a,
I have
Tony?
the usual package. The colors are a little off tonight. I was running out of black, amazingly enough. Thank you. So the usual, the first photo or the first ortho with the assessor's parcel data overlaid on it, 67 there in the middle. The Google image, which is usually a little better than it is, you can sort of make out the houses a little better. If you go to the bottom of the screen, or the bottom of the screenshot, that is the neighborhood McMansion there. If there's an extra copy, you can pass it over there. 67 South Charlton, the log cabin-ish style house, I guess I would call it. And this neighbor here that just spoke, a couple houses down on that side, the right of the house is 71 South Charlton Shore, which was done over a number of years ago, early in my career. And 65 South Charlton Shore, a little, I guess I'd still call it a camp. I don't think she lives there year round. So the little camp for being used as a camp in the neighborhood. But it's the typical South Charlton neighborhood, the Glen-Echo neighborhood. Smaller houses being improved, and it's going to continue.
you don't think that, his expansion is detrimental to the neighborhood?
No, I don't see it as that.
Okay.
Given the shape and the size of that lot and the constrictions that, you know, with the well and the septic, or the well and the cesspool, no.
Okay.
Because there's other, I can see it happening to other properties there, you
Okay.
know, there's that. Just, and if you indulge me for a minute, I know a little bit about Title V, not a lot. I don't know how it affects wells, but the Board of Health regulations allow an existing structure with the number of bedrooms that is in it now to continue. And then if that cesspool failed or that subsurface system failed, they would have to be able to either make a repair or put in a tight tank for the equal number of bedrooms that's in the property now. So,
I'm aware of that.
No. All right, so we'll call the other roll call. Historical Commission, Board of Health, Board of Assessors, Recreation, Economic Development, Police, Fire, School Districts, Water, Sewer, Housing, Planning Board, Selectmen, any other local board or agency, any other interested parties. Okay, no one says anything, make a motion to close the open hearing portion of the meeting.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. So discussion, I don't think that this is an issue at all, special permit, it's not any more detrimental to the neighborhood. In terms of the variance, the hardship is that he can't put anything in the front because of, septic issues, can't put anything in the back because of the slope in the well. So, someone wants to make a motion, unless you have more discussion, anyone have any more discussion?
Why does he need a special permit?
Because he's expanding beyond the
Footprint?
the footprint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to give him a special permit because he's expanding beyond the footprint and the plus or minus on the 9.6 plus or minus on the sides.
So it would be, what is it, 5, 6 plus or minus?
Yeah.
6
6
to
feet.
15-foot side setback? So we were probably looking at 6 feet. Is it 9.6? 6 feet?
6 feet.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
We need 9.6. If it's 3 inches one way or 3 inches the other way, you don't wanna, as long as you're not moving it like 5 feet more. like that.
It's not detrimental to the neighborhood.
All right, second on the motion?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The same thing with the 20-day appeal period. You get a letter in the mail saying what day, you just go to the clerk, pick it up, go to Worcester County Registry of Deeds, have it recorded, bring the paper back to Kurt, and then you'll be good to go. And get me a copy too. Secretary in the file.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Good luck, have a nice
Thank you very
winter.
much.
Next area.
We have an opening, don't forget, guys.
Yeah, no, I won't.
You'll regret it.
Oh, I have some business that I can tell. I told Barry.
Thank you.
I didn't tell Barry. Just so everybody knows, Lenny passed away last week.
I don't think you ever met Lonnie. He was a member of the board. He's been in Florida, every time we had a meeting, he was in Florida or someplace else. But he was a member of the board when I got on, and he was probably a member of, since zoning probably in fact, he was a member of the board.
Yeah.
Nice man, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, so I
How young was he?
Oh, he's in his
77.
77?
Oh, he's a young man.
The only time, you
didn't
want
suffer.
make a motion?
Wait,
Hi, how you doing?
I'm here for the Stearns property, the water booster station.
The town sent me an email today that withdrew the application. Did nobody tell you?
That's nice. That's beautiful. I'm glad you'd stay out there.
I mean, I got the agenda saying I was number 3, so I came.
You were gonna be number 3. But then Peter Bory sent me an email yesterday and said they withdrew the application. So
Because of the bylaw that was passed.
I'm assuming, yeah, so you may wanna talk to.
Alright, so
Do you want us to,
I mean, if there's nothing further I need to do, that's fine. I just
right.
What were you thinking?
Oh, Tammy, I talked
What was
to-
the date on that we needed to have a decision by? If that was the next meeting, would it be, if that was the next meeting, would it be an issue?
No, it wouldn't be. It's on
Alright,
December.
so I'll just make a motion that, upon further confirmation that we'll have withdrawn. If for some reason Peter or someone in the town made a mistake,
Yep.
then just let her know and we'll put you on for the next meeting.
I did hear that the bylaw doesn't go into effect till January.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know what they're doing from now until January.
You wanna give somebody a call?
Who should I talk to?
I have no idea.
I would say Peter.
Do you know Pete? Do you know Peter Boria?
He just started, right? He's the
Yeah.
Wouldn't we have to have the applicants here?
The town, yeah.
But they didn't give us anything in writing saying that they.
He just gave me an email saying they withdrew. But I heard after that it doesn't go in effect till January, but it's not my call to tell them what to do.
You wanna recess for a minute and someone go ask Kurt.
Okay.
For some reason they still wanna do it.
Yep.
Then we have a meeting on November 14th. We'll just call and reschedule. We'll just put it back on the 14th.
Okay.
All right.
So the notifications, because what happened was McClure Engineers actually submitted the package form. They've been getting the notifications with the agenda and location and everything. If you do continue it and you need me to come in, can you have it emailed to me now?
Sure, can you give me your email?
Yep. C as in Charlie, Tripp, T-R-I-P-P, at kleinfelder.com.
Can you spell that?
Yep. K-L-E-I-N.
You got that card?
We can probably make a motion and continue it.
F-E-L-D-E-R.
Do we?
Yes,
I don't think so. There's 4 of us here.
Sure, you have a quorum.
FELDER
Yeah.
.com?
There you go.
You have a quorum. Quorum's great.
Yeah. So let's put it in the recess.
Okay. Well, I got it.
Is it on?
Yeah, I turned it on when he started off.
Okay. So someone make a motion to continue the application for variance for the town of Charlton. on, whatever the road is that it's on.
Southbridge Road.
Southbridge Road to the next meeting. All right, there's a motion.
So we keep this.
Yeah, just hold on to that.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
All right,
It would
all
be,
all in favor say aye.
No,
Aye.
November 14th is
Aye.
our next
Aye.
meeting.
Yep.
All in
We'll have
favor
it
say
on that
aye.
agenda.
Okay.
Bob, all in favor say aye of continuing?
Aye.
Aye,
I
okay. Carries.
carry.
Someone make a motion to recess until 8 o'clock.
I'll make a motion to recess until 8.
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're in recess till 8 PM.
Who seconded the other motion?
I did.
Bob did.
Thanks, guys.
Cones in there?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Where's the cones?
Condo unit, huh?
Gentlemen.
One down the road right now.
Hello? There we go. So this is a continuation of the appeal to the cease and desist order of the zoning enforcement officer, Hill Construction Company, Inc. So before we take a vote, a couple of things that I like to disclose, and there's some more things that we kind of need to discuss somewhat before we have a vote. So first of all, I just wanted to disclose everyone here, after the meeting last Tuesday, that a mutual acquaintance of the Hilker Company asked if I wanted to visit their work site, and I accepted. John Hilker was gracious enough to drive me around the work site, show me what was going on, everything like that. At no time did we discuss how I was gonna vote. No real new information aside from, just to see what the site looked like, where things were in comparison to the aerial photographs that we discussed. In fairness, and I told this to Mr. Hilker as well, is that I was gonna probably, he gave me permission to walk from the other side on Leland Hill Road back to the edge of the tree line. A couple of neighbors on Leland Hill Road were gracious enough to allow me to walk behind their lot, and I looked. Once again, there was no discussion on which way I was gonna vote, or, there's no offers of free in-ground pools or anything like that to me. So I just wanted to disclose that to everybody, just to be in fairness, just to see the layout myself. So that's the first part of it. The second part tonight is, you want me to do it? All right, so last meeting we took a straw vote to see how we think this, it was gonna go. Since the last meeting, there's been, for lack of better terms, some documentation. we did some reasonable inquiry, and just to be safe on the conservative side, Mr. McGrath will recuse himself from the vote just to prevent any kind of appearance of any kind of conflict of interest. He's, if you want to just confirm that.
Yeah, I guess there's been some allegations that I knew of relations with business in between my full-time employer and Hilka themselves. I don't have any decision-making in my business. The company that I do actually work for, I'm an operator for them. I had no clue or understanding of the way the day-to-day operations went with my company. I was just under the impression that Hilka was selling sand and gravel to them just because of paperwork that was presented to me today. I am going to recuse myself from the matter.
All right, so that being said, I'd like to just kind of get us an idea of which way we're going to vote, just at preliminary. So Bob, would you vote to uphold or overturn? Bob?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, which way are you looking, Bob?
Well, this is kind of a shock to me because on the straw vote,
We're doing another straw vote now.
well, I'm confused. I'll
Well,
tell you that right now.
last time you were, to overturn. Have you changed your mind?
Can I say something without having to, I mean, you reserved your right last week to
Yeah,
make up your mind for a whole week.
yeah, well, you
Now,
got the
I
same.
took this straw vote, but here I come tonight, and it's a fait accompli. You need 4
I know
to
you do.
overturn it. Well, now we have one man that's out, and
Yeah.
I know there's one man over here, so it's done. It's over.
It's not necessarily done.
Well, I tell you, it is,
It-
as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
Because there's,
I'm just asking you a question.
well, I know you're asking, and I want to answer it, but I also want to
All right,
say,
so listen,
well,
um,
I don't want to get into a contest with
we're
you.
not getting into a contest, don't worry about that. Are we all in agreement between the 4 of us that,
No, with the 4 you're talking right now, without Robert.
that's right, you, Bill, me, and Barry,
Okay,
the 4
yeah,
of us,
right.
we're in agreement that we're not here to put anybody out of business, correct? Barry's in agreement with that, Bill, you in agreement with that? Bob, you in agreement with that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have the option to either uphold the cease and desist order,
That's right.
okay? We can overturn the cease and desist order,
Right, yeah.
or we can modify the cease and desist order.
You can modify.
Yes. So we are allowed to modify the cease and desist order. And so my thinking is this, is that the way that the cease and desist order is written right now is that Hilka would cease all operations. And I don't think that's what the zoning enforcement officer wanted to do. I don't think that's in our interest, or whether we want to uphold the order or not. We're not looking to put these guys, shut these guys down.
That's right.
So my suggestion is that we can modify the order to one of the aerial photographs and say that anything beyond this photo, or one of the aerial photographs, would be subject to the cease and desist order.
That's just one option.
That's an option, but that's for all of us to
Is there
decide.
anything else that we can do?
I think those are our only 3 options at this point.
Well, I haven't changed my vote.
No, Bill, have you changed your vote?
No, but I'm interested in the modification. Has discussed this with the,
I haven't discussed, I'm discussing it with you because we're the
this is the
board.
first time that you discussed it with anybody. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it was brought up in the last meeting, briefly. I brought it up. Attorney for Hilka, in one of his sentences, mentioned it. I think I asked counsel for the zoning enforcement officer and counsel for Hilker last Tuesday what they thought about a possibility of a modification. But that's pretty much the extent of it in terms of the board.
Okay, so I'm looking at the, what is it, the 2006? I don't have it.
I don't have it.
So I have this one right here.
2016,
That's the one that's the 2016.
I have that, I can make a motion to overturn
No, we wouldn't make a motion to overturn.
the system.
You need 4 votes to do that. There's only 3 votes. So if we made a motion just to overturn directly as it is, since Rob can't, is not, has accused himself, we would have to be unanimous.
That's right. And it's not gonna be any.
It can't be a majority.
No, not according to the statute. The statute says if there's a 5-member board, 4 members need to vote, would have to vote to overturn the opinion of the zoning enforcement, the action of the zoning enforcement officer.
So, so Barry knew it.
I never told anybody which way I was gonna vote.
Tell us how you're gonna vote.
In all honesty, if I was gonna vote to overturn. I wasn't gonna vote to uphold. So, and my thinking on that was, looking at where everything was, looking at what the test we needed to do, I didn't think that there was a substantial expansion that would fall under that test. The fact that they got a new processor and newer trucks or whatever, and that they were moving to different parts, I didn't necessarily think that was considered a substantial expansion of the thing. My only other, and this is why I was kind of held up, is that part of that test is what kind of impact was it on the neighborhood. So that's why I agreed to go on the site, and you guys had made up your mind on that, so it really didn't make any difference. And then I went to this road right here,
Right.
and I walked back that way, and then I just, during work hours, I went on A.F. Putnam Road, just stopped, shut my truck off, windows down, and listened to see what kind of impact that was. I stopped on that road, just listened, went outside and stood and listened to the impact. And I came to the conclusion that right now, the day-to-day impact wasn't really sufficient enough to, in my opinion, to uphold that. So I thought, that he was okay. But, that doesn't really make any difference for us right now. So
I don't know how you can, it's up to Barry then, it sounds like to me.
no, so we can do 2 things. We can vote up or down, okay? In which case, if we make a vote up and down, then the order stands the way it is. And the way it says it is that they would cease all operations, all right? We could sit and.
Well, it still goes to, appellate court.
Not necessarily, that's if they want to appeal. They would, technically, the town could, file something and someone could shut them down completely until an appeal was heard, which, how long that takes,
Okay, so what's the solution? Tell me the solution.
So my proposal is this, is if we vote, you can vote to overturn, okay? I guess we'd have to vote.
We don't wanna do that. We want to keep them in business.
Right,
As far as I'm concerned.
right.
So what do we do?
So my proposal is that, we make a motion to modify the cease and desist order that says that anything beyond, I want to use that map. We can discuss that. I think that's relatively reasonable.
It's reasonable for now. Yes.
Right, that anything, beyond that tree line or whatever, is under a cease and desist. And that they would be required to get a special permit. They would still be able to operate under though the 2016 boundaries unless, you know, they came to us for a special permit, or until they did that.
Okay, can we make a motion for that?
Is everyone in agreement? Bob, are you in agreement
Well,
with that?
I want you to go over that again.
So,
I am, just let me finish, please.
all right.
If what you're indicating is for this modification,
Yeah,
and we limit them
Right.
to just so much,
right.
all right? And we have this space. Are you saying to me that they can come to us for a special permit
Beyond those borders.
and open up those borders?
Yes.
Okay, I'm all with it then. It works for me. That's fine. That's easy.
No, I said the tree line, not the
Yeah,
boundaries.
yeah.
If it was the boundaries, we wouldn't be even here right now, yeah.
To special permit, they'll be grandfathered. I'm all in.
You're all in?
I'm all in.
All in.
I'm realistic, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that
Um,
we codify.
The zoning enforcement officer wants to say a word. Do we have an okay that he speak? Gentlemen?
Yeah.
No. Mr. Meskis?
We just need to be sure we identify the exact map that we're talking about,
Yeah,
so that we're all looking at the same piece of paper. Because I'm looking at 2016 map, and
yeah, so I have one dated August 18th, 2016. Scale is 1 inch equals 600 feet. Is that the one you're looking at?
no, it's not, but if you hold that up, I can probably understand.
Which the one you have? I mean, that's
I
gonna
have
have,
so many maps.
so do I. That's the thing is, I got maps from 1985 all the way
Okay, so
forward.
as long as you identify specifically what map that is,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's my only concern.
For some reason, I thought it was.
If you don't mind, Mr. Chairman, I just want to, I mean, I've seen this.
Yeah, that's fine. Kevin, do you have the same map? Just make sure it's the same one. Yeah.
Everybody's gonna get a chainsaw for Christmas.
I don't think we have any other maps.
Yeah, well.
My God, people talk about us in this in church.
I think that's a condition that we have to more identify clearly. Sure.
Yeah, well, we have no problem doing that.
We agree on that.
Okay.
So somehow we have to make sure the end.
So you're talking about this,
Yeah, that's what I thought. Quiet this evening.
John talking about.
Yeah, if someone wants to look at the map, that's fine. That might be, I don't know who prepared it. That's the tree line as it exists right now.
Here's another 2016. This is the group.
Read it, it's the same. I don't know. That's the.
This map was generated
This is generated at a different time then?
Well, the dates that are on that map
Yeah.
are the date of the Google search. The date on this map is the date that on
Lauren Hill, that's what I was trying to, yeah, I walk behind. Yeah. No, let's just decide what map we're gonna use then.
Okay, so page 27 to his, Kurt's submission at the last meeting or the first meeting?
I thought that was the most recent map. That's easy, it's fine, it's not a problem at all.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Good thing I had the other one. Go back.
This doesn't look like though.
Yeah, it's different.
This is an older map. Yeah, I have contact. Yeah. No, I said Leland and that one. I'm sorry.
You wanna look at the map, you can tell where to put the crusher?
Yeah. Sure, it's on, nothing to move it tonight, might be on the wrong
This
side.
map wasn't, I don't know how old this map is. I don't know what, in now.
I put it way in the back there. Is that the right spot?
Where they can hear them.
Huh?
Where they can hear them.
Is this the layout as of 2016?
It's a long walk. I walked up there a couple of weeks ago. That was a long walk.
You wanna make sure with your client? Well, this is the way it is right now. No, I mean, we're just trying to figure out the map, all right? So there's a question here as, that's the current layout. That was in the packet somewhere. Yeah, so, is this right here, this thing right here then? Is that what it is?
It's also too much work for them doing the mountain climb. My cousin was getting I thought she was gonna get up and have to get up that way. She don't have it.
No.
Good job. Jeff was bitching about how he bitching about it. My cousin Steve was diabetic. Doing some up in the mountains in Quabbin last week.
No, that's nice. That's a nice
Motorcycle.
It's a good way to go.
Are you guys good with this one? Everyone's good with
Whatever
this
you
one?
say, how much, do you have any idea what the circumference of the land that we're not allowing him to, that he's gotta go get a special permit for?
Well, I mean, if we say that,
How much? How much does he gotta get?
if we say that the cease and desist order is upheld to the existing tree line according to that map, then if he's, you know, if he's beyond that, then he needs to do a special permit.
And how much has he gotta go? How much land is, that he gets to get the special permit for?
Well, it depends on what he wants to do. You know?
He owns the land anyway.
Well, he'll get special permits for each section that he wants to.
No, we don't need a special permit, there's a special
He
permit.
just gets one for the whole.
He gets one for the whole
if he
shebang.
wants.
Okay.
Yeah, if he's gonna do a special permit,
Yeah, he'll
then
figure that
he's
out.
gonna, they were gonna put it in for a special permit, they're like, okay, we want a special permit for all this land, and these are the things that we're gonna do, you know, we're gonna be changing this, and we're gonna do that, we're gonna do the other thing, and we'll just include all of that in the special permit. So it's not just like a straight
So
up.
he'll come up.
Gee, mate. I don't know how to make them noises.
Yeah,
Okay, well.
It rings.
yeah, it's the same process.
And at what point in time would he be able to apply for a special permit?
Anytime he wants. He can apply tonight if he wanted to. There's no time bearing on that at all.
They can't even agree on what maps. Right, they can't agree on what maps.
Be calling the surveyor before it's over.
What would the vote be for a special permit? Simple majority?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
In a case like this, I guess it makes it.
Yeah,
I don't think we're supposed to, this is all between us.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
just
wanna
asking-
hear anybody from the audience. It's over. It's
So,
up to us.
are we all in agreement to use this?
I'm in agreement to use this one here.
Okay. So I just thought of it as a second part to this, all right?
Okay.
So, are we gonna tell him that the cease and desist is for all operation of any kind in that tree line?
Doesn't he know he can hear them?
Well, that's what he's gonna get the special permit for, isn't it?
So are we gonna say gravel extraction operation or any operation? Sending water on trees.
If he's gonna do an excavation, he's gonna cut down the trees. So he's planning on doing special permits.
I'm asking you whatever you, I'm just asking the question, all right?
Okay, I'm just trying to
Right.
sort it through.
Right.
I don't-
So is the cease and desist is only for
That part, that portion.
the non-allowed uses under the agricultural zone?
We're allowing this portion here in this map.
Right.
Okay?
So-
That's my understanding.
Right, so,
So anything up beyond this disturbed ground,
all right, but, okay, so that wouldn't necessarily affect if in an A agricultural zone, you're allowed to remove trees. We're not putting a cease and desist on that because that's allowed already by right under the A zone.
Yeah.
If something else was allowed under the A zone, that we're not saying that. We're just saying,
the operation of single level.
right, so he,
So if he wants to sell some trees,
Right, that's fine.
Mr. Chairman, if trees are removed, that'd be another change of use, we'll be right back.
No, if it's allowed under, if you can remove trees under an A zone, then he can remove trees on an A zone. Right, that's what I'm saying. So
But then
something,
more of that buffer goes away from more of the neighbors, and now.
that's
it's
a
not-
whole other thing, yeah.
Yeah, how come they didn't say
Just goes
nothing
to the
then?
bottom. That's it. Yeah.
Have somebody in there tomorrow morning cutting the trees, huh?
Right.
Right up to the fucking line.
For a special permit.
No, he would turn a special permit if he was gonna remove trees and was allowed under an A zone.
Not just trees, I'm just saying, moving trees is doing that for shrubs beyond the trees.
Yeah, he can.
So it's a special permit.
No, I don't think he has to.
So initially.
So if the use is allowed, all right, even if it's anticipated or non-allowed use, he can see the special permit is non-allowed, regardless of the reasons of who.
Yeah.
You can't say, hey, listen, this is not.
That DA tomorrow,
I know. I wish it was. I'm just really seeing how we want, that's all. I didn't think it would change. We're gonna have to go this process. Tell us the truth. Check on it.
They didn't give the whole business this much trouble filling in the swamp. Nobody cares what you're doing.
this part of it, not necessarily any of this, right? This is his faxing, and how he came to it. And this part right here really is a single system where I guess it's all over. Structures. Wait a minute. I know, but you know. Sorry, I would have to reference that, we have to stamp it.
Yeah, when you're voting.
He's got all these ones here, which we.
Yeah, be okay. Talk a little bit more burning. We'll need them tomorrow.
Just say, since all operations, using structures and equipment. Store the site.
Now you want to see. You want me to equal? Well, I don't know. They really for all yeah. Think another one.
Kurt, this was in your original, this page 27 was in your original order, correct? No, this wasn't in your original order. This was on a supplemental. This one was in that supplemental package you offered to us. It wasn't in the original order.
This is what I hear.
Yeah. Page 9 on the original cease and desist order.
So we're talking about page 9.
In the origin of, in this order.
Of the cease and desist order.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of work to do business. I know what she is.
So that's page 9 original order. Page 10. This is it right here. This is page 9 in the original order. I think this is general. That's all.
Jimmy doesn't have these problems.
He went and shot him all.
Running back and forth over his pens.
At the bottom of one of his
Cover it up. Where you going tomorrow, Roberta?
Oh, not fine, just Oxford.
With asphalt plant?
Yeah. Cement asphalt.
28 trips. 28 trips. Over there.
Yeah, I go right by the fucking coming down the street, I'm on Chalmers Street, I read the bridge. 3 times. Because I always do what I can. I haven't been. 3 times I ran into this thing. Son of a bitch. I make the corner. I'm all over it now. I'm already in. My window's over there. Yeah.
Oh, what bridge is that? The one going by Red.
No, not by Red, was the other one. If you come down by the old vegetable stand.
Oh, okay, the old one. I go over there all the time when I go there with the low bed. It's the only way you can make the corner. You can't go left.
No. Well, some of them got to go back a little. It's a little wider now.
Oh, it is? I went over that with the 400 when I read that in
Last time he came through.
Otherwise, the other way coming in is come like I did today, you know, Webster and come up.
Oh, really?
Down Pierpont.
That's a tough way.
It's tough, but it's straight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just straight in there, fucking winding through.
Oh. I've never seen him sitting at that bridge down there.
I did that one time.
Yeah.
One time.
Especially now, you know, fucking. No, you don't know. I thought that was per axle. Yeah, exactly. That stupid thing going around that. Fucking wear your tires up around that thing. Especially when you get something big and heavy on a trail. Right. Go over it. Fuck it.
But they fixed it. They supposedly jacked off into concrete.
Yeah, right, as long as you lift your feet.
No English.
Yeah.
Huh?
They did that in Southbridge, though, that big bun. That's what I'm talking about. They supposedly fixed that. They jacked all that concrete in
Now,
there.
they gotta wait for the state to change the sign.
Well, that could take a
Special permit. Special permit. That's the work hazard now. It's getting dark early. You can't, days are short. You can't have a guy over there. You have to wait till next year for the budget to buy another wrench. This could be a while. Better off to sleep up here than yeah, the next one's tough, that fucking screen. The one I got on now is heavy, but that screen is tough. I said it's one of the toughest ones to move. 5 or 6 belts on it, it's fucking tough. With no clearance like that high on it. That's another shitty place to get to. Whitney, you ever go up there and go up
Yeah,
there?
all we do is
That's another, right in the arms of Fitchburg.
to modify the order. And that's what I was looking at, I was just asking him, you know, what the wording should be.
Anybody you can find?
Yeah, I think that we're all in agreement on the map.
It's gonna be fine.
I'll-
You don't have to do anything.
They're not gonna agree on a map then.
So this is the map. This would be-
week, right?
9 and 10.
I don't know, meeting that week. Be a special one tomorrow night.
That's all they're gonna do.
Gotta apply though, before midnight.
So it'd be eliminate all.
You had them for 4 weeks. You have time to read that while you're shitting? Huh? That'd be too. Everything. I do my mail, my checks, I pay my bills, everything. Right there.
So if we send you a check, spray with bleach.
It's all good. Hands-free operation, I run.
Sanitizer looks like a check.
Jesus Christ, huh?
Don't like it. Not gonna tell her any of them have problems. Unless it's emergency, I don't wanna hear from her. Well, even that job ain't done till the paperwork's done. It's real shitty if you don't do the paperwork right.
All right, so, gentlemen, the original order said that within 10 days of the receipt of this order, cease all operations, remove any and all non-conforming structures and equipment, restore the site to condition, including restoration of the vegetative state, consistent in all respects of the protected non-conforming condition, and eliminating all non-protected aspects of uses and structures in accordance with the zoning bylaw, state and federal regulations, and provide satisfactory evidence that you have done so. So, I propose to modify that to say, cease all non-conforming operations outside the tree line perimeter on aerial photograph map as shown on page 9 in this order. Eliminate all non-protected aspects of use and structures in accordance with the zoning bylaw and all applicable local, state, and federal laws, regulations, and requirements outside the said tree line perimeter. So anything inside the tree line perimeter, I'm saying is okay, and modifying it, anything outside that existing tree line perimeter according to map 9 and 10 would be subject to the cease and desist order.
Number 18 and 19.
We just
Page 5 of 10.
we need to adjust this to say cease operations.
Me? Right, well, hey, back to New York and back.
They didn't even make the decision.
Yeah, we know if the tree line in that area. If we just leave it at that and just go down.
This thing laying out of stone. Jeez, trucks will be lined up, but what do you got? We don't know.
Yeah, 19 degree model, I think we have to change that too. So, you want to just delete it all together? No, I'm asking all three. So paragraph 19, Bob, right? So we modified 18.
Modified 18.
Modified 18 to say to cease all operations outside the tree line film perimeter, right? We still need paragraph 19. I don't think we need it.
You don't even know.
We just, the motion will
You
be.
can go with
That's you, buddy.
Yeah, but it says cease all operations until you receive a special permit. Right. So we don't need the paragraph at all, because we're saying that you're gonna cease all operations outside that tree line. So the second part of that motion was to modify paragraph 18 and delete paragraph 19 in its entirety.
Okay.
The traffic will figure it out.
So, and it looks like to me is that the thing with the floodplain, it looks like all of the map that shows the floodplain is outside that tree line perimeter anyway, so I think it becomes an absolute non-issue at that point.
Let's move.
Yeah.
So, Chair want to make a motion?
All right, so the only other thing we're gonna do is we're gonna waive that other provision.
A lot of work to get the rock.
So it's rule. So, rule 8.3 of our zoning rules, you don't have that in front of you, I don't think, right now. Requires us to, we did this on the last appeal that we did, is that a motion is to, it should be in the form of findings of fact, and state reasons by the board. So last time what we did was, we waived that rule, we made the motion, and then we did just put together findings of fact afterwards. And, yeah, that way, because otherwise we're gonna have to sit down and do all the findings of fact when we make these motions. And I think, so someone would need to make a motion to waive
I'll make a motion to waive.
the rule to 8.3 to waive, requiring us to include all findings of fact in the motion. Bob seconds that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. That motion carries. So does someone want to make a motion to modify the zoning enforcement officer's cease and desist order?
Why don't you share the-
You want me to do it? You want to do it, Barry? So, I'll make the motion to modify paragraph 18 of the zoning enforcement officer's cease and desist order, to delete that and replace it in its entirety with the following: cease all non-conforming operations outside the tree line perimeter on aerial photograph map as shown on page 9 in this order. Eliminate all non-protected aspects of use and structures in accordance with the zoning bylaw and all applicable local, state, and federal laws, regulations, and requirements outside the said tree line perimeter. And further, to delete paragraph 19 of the remedies of the cease and desist order in its entirety. All in favor of that, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. So now we'll just vote on the modified cease and desist order. So we can still vote to overturn the modified order if you want, or you can vote to uphold the modified order. We just have to pick one. So since we're all in agreement with the modified order the way that this current stands, my suggestion is just to vote to uphold the modified order as just passed on. Someone needs to make a motion to that.
Make a motion for that.
So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. All right, so that's it. Yeah, so if we put together the findings of fact, we may have to just have a meeting to motion it through. Next Tuesday's Halloween, so we're not doing it then. No, we're gonna do it before November 3rd. So we either have to meet one time later this week for like 10 minutes,
Okay.
just to do that, or like next Monday or something like that. When are you guys available? Barry, then it's up to you. I have no life, so.
I don't have a
So the earliest, today's Tuesday, the earliest we can do is Thursday. Want to do it Monday? No, we'll do Monday.
So nothing gonna call.
Yeah, we did it last time.
It's done.
Wasn't it?
What they're voting on now is all the facts that went into this, you know.
God doesn't have meetings on Monday.
I usually.
This is
We'll
the.
do Monday?
Well, no, the sewer commission meets and the select meeting on Mondays.
What time do they meet?
6 o'clock. Okay, so Debbie's saying they met last week, they only meet every other week.
All right.
So they met last night, this month, so they won't be meeting, shouldn't be meeting this month.
All right. So you want to do 6 o'clock next Monday?
In the evening?
7?
We're gonna do it by 6:30.
That's fine. 6:30?
6:30.
Next Monday?
In town hall.
6:30.
No, not in this room, upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
6:30.
yeah, and all we'll do is just whatever findings we have, just make sure that they're in motion. Does everyone understand what we just did? All right, does someone want to make a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
I know what they did.
Meeting is adjourned.
Can't get it back now.
Waste all your beer drinking.
And yours, don't just blame me.